engineers are fighting to contain the damage to this nuclear facility in Japan, warning that one of the reactors could melt down. So the threat of nuclear radiation, of course, reminding all of the world's citizens of the risks of using this type of energy. We're going to bring in an expert now on nuclear energy. He is an engineer, and he also managed the emergency radiological response team working with the U.S. Department of Energy for 30 years. Robert Kelley is with us now. He is on the phone joining us from Vienna. Thank you so much, Bob, for being with us this morning. As an engineer, first of all, from what you are reading, what are the chances on a scale of 1 to 10 of a meltdown?
Well, I think the reactors are already damaged beyond any possible use. They were damaged beyond use after probably half an hour on Friday when the cooling stopped. So now you're just worried about a public health emergency. I would say they have a 50-50 chance of containing that possible emergency. And this morning, as I read the new information that's coming in on some of the more technical websites, I'd say they're actually making some progress in trying to contain the public emergency.
So the idea of pouring seawater in, for example, to cool the reactors, handing out iodine tablets to citizens, I mean, those are the right steps. That's what you would do if you were working for the U.S. government and this happened here on our shores.
Well, exactly. I mean, you put seawater into the reactor because now you know it's lost anyway, and there's no possibility of saving it or ever using it again. So the damage that the seawater does is very small compared to the benefit you're getting. They're probably doing that primarily to condense steam inside the building so the pressure doesn't build up. And some of the numbers that we see this morning are that the pressures are coming down, so that's a very positive sign. The iodine tablets have to be distributed before there's an accident. And so you do that to block iodine from going to the thyroid gland. I would say the analogy is that the captain of a ship will distribute life jackets to people before the ship goes on the rocks, not when the ship is on the rocks.
Well, that seems like a good strategy. Bob, I want to tap into your experience both as an engineer and as someone who's spent 30 years working for the U.S. Do you think the idea of a U.S. nuclear renaissance is dead?
Well, I think there's certainly some rethinking of what's going to go on. It's going to cause a lot of discussions. You do have to look at this and say this is a 40-year-old plant. It was not actually damaged by the earthquake, which was 10 times bigger than it was designed for. It was the tsunami that wiped it out. There was really only one critical thing that failed, and that was 13 emergency generators were clobbered by the tsunami. If that hadn't happened, this wouldn't be a problem. I think, though, that's going to be very hard to sell the public on that technically without quite a bit of work.
So, Bob, even though you say the designs are older, 1960s, as you said, it's still going to be hard to sell to the American public that this is still a clean energy. We know that industry executives promote it as such because nuclear energy does not reduce, or rather produce greenhouse gases as natural gas or as coal. Bob Kelley, thank you so much. Bob Kelley joining us there on the phone from Vienna.